Hey guys, I'm Sartorial Phil. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a quick review video on the upcoming collection. This is the collaboration with NIGO, which is to be released for pre-fall 2020, which is actually pretty soon because usually pre-fall hits around May. And I'm not going into too much detail, but I'm going to go through all the looks that they published. And then I'm going to try to estimate the prices of the bags just based on the pieces they have for sale online and sort of past experience with how much they might upcharge the pieces, because most of these pieces have an existing permanent version, but these of course have been modified for this edition or release of it. This is a collaboration with NIGO, and it's really, I think, a collaboration with the HumanMade brand or NIGO's brand, because the tagline is LVMADE. So this first look is pretty simple. There's the damier pattern on the tie, and it's kind of hard to see, but I think the illustration on his tie is like a tiger in a way you would see it if it was like a rug. And then here's another ready-to-wear look with larger monogram prints on the scarf, as well as that LV2 logo. Here you can see one of the first bags. You can't see it too well, but this is their sac plat with the shoulder strap. And there's also the LV2 logo on the chest pocket. So here you have the first bag. It's a version of the sac plat, and you can see that the handles are quite different. It's kind of skewed the way the black metal hardware connects it to the bag. And then you have a closure system, which looks a lot like what VIRGIL does, except this doesn't actually come with the pin. And then something I noticed too was on the corners, the top corners of the bag, you have metal pieces that looks like they're riveted on. And then you have a vachetta patch near the bottom with the slightly modified logo, which reminds me a lot of the Supreme collaboration with this tag. And this is the large damier pattern with the LV monogram, which looks like it's the standard size, in like a drip pattern, kind of like ice cream dripping down, which is, I think, a motif from one of NIGO's line. He actually has a line called Ice Cream, and even for his Bape line, he had like dripping patterns. I don't believe he owned those brands anymore. I think he sold them. So this sac plat, I'm estimating around $3,000 with a minimum of $2,640. And then here we have the sunglasses with a different type of the trunk hardware. And on the necktie, you have a mallard with LVMADE. And that mallard is a motif that is from his HumanMade line. It's almost the exact same. It's just that the middle says LVMADE instead of HumanMade. And then this jacket, the back is almost like a souvenir jacket. And it's something he's done before for his brand HumanMade, for NIGO's brand. And then you also see a keepall, which is the second bag. And I believe it's probably a keepall 50. And then here you have a large damier pattern. It kind of reminds me what Marc Jacobs did for his last spring-summer collection. But this is in the brown color. And here I would call this almost like an MM Nils bag or a reporter bag. This has the drip if you look closely, and it has the leather patches on it as well. So this one, I think I would estimate around $2,500, minimum being $2,200. Again, just kind of based on comparable canvas bags of this size, but with a slight upcharge due to the extra work put into the drip pattern and then the extra leather patch. Here is another damier suit, and you can see the bag a little bit. This is like a north-south tote that's zipped on top. There'll be a better picture of it later. And here is the full suit again with the damier pattern, although it's more of a checkerboard than without those small marks. And then here we start seeing some denim. It's like patchwork, which is very, I think, a Japanese motif and part of NIGO's brand. This is, again, another like reporter bag or Nils But this is the largest one of this size from this collection. You can clearly see the drip on the smaller pocket. This one I would estimate around $2,900 with a minimum being $2,790 in the US, like USD. This look pretty much has a lot of the bags. So starting off with the Christopher you see on the back, there'll be a better photo of it later. This I think is the only front shot of that north-south tote I was talking about, which almost reminds me a little bit of the Alma, the way that the top curves. So this one's kind of hard to price because I didn't see anything particularly like it, but just looking at north-south totes, I would say this might be around $2,800 and the minimum being $2,270. And then I think he's wearing the medium-sized reporter bag, not 100% sure. And then here you can see the front of the keepall. And this keepall, based on comparable items, I would say is around $2,900 with a minimum being $2,790. I'm not sure if it's gonna come with the keychain. You can see the mallard, the duck on there. If it does include it, I think that's going to be an extra like $100, $200 upcharge to the price as well. So just more ready to wear looks. I think we already seen this, but in the belt you can see that LV2 logo. This is the look you saw previously, but on the scarf you see the duck. So another damier look with faded dark denim. Here you can see a better picture of the Christopher. I feel like this might be the most expensive bag from this collection. I'm thinking this might be around $3,500 or $3,550 with a minimum being $3,350. Again, it reminds me a lot of the Supreme collection, just with the brown and this vachetta treatment. You can see the drip effect on top where the flap is. Here's another image of the sac plat. And here more of the damier patterns and the keepall. And it looks like these shoes have metal caps on them. And then this is the last look with more damier patterns and the shoes and the ties we've seen before. Actually, there's one more, and this introduces the last bag. I think there are a total of 7 bags introduced in this collection, at least based on these promo pictures. This is the smallest one. It's more like a clutch, like a zipped wallet, because there's a leather handle on the side of it, which you would put like your fingers through and hold on to it like a clutch, but it looks like you can also convert this to a crossbody bag. This one, I believe, is the only piece that has a turtle illustration, and I think on the shell it says LVMADE and then maybe 2 in the middle for the LV2 logo. You can see the LV2 logo on the jacket as well. This one, it's like sort of a crossbody PPM maybe, like when Supreme had their Danube PPM, but this one doesn't have the leather patches on the bottom, so I wouldn't call it a Danube. This one I'm estimating around $2,000. It would be the least expensive of all of the bags or leather goods in this collection, with a minimum being $1,620. So the way I calculate minimum is looking at an item they have in their permanent collection that's very similar to this, that's canvas. But like I was saying, all of these have extra work to them, either through the drip pattern, which all of them except I think this one has, and or they might have these silkscreen illustrations or maybe even extra tags like keychains. So that's definitely going to add usually a few hundred to the price. So those are all of the looks. I'm not sure if they're all going to be produced. I'd be interesting to know what you think of it and if there are any pieces that you have your eye on. And that's my video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos and check out my Instagram page at sartorialphil. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.